Hi, I'm Nadia.
Hi, I'm Aaleia.
Hi, I'm Nameera. And this is Operation Tomatometer.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Classic's most tomatastic film podcast, Operation Tomatometer, where we review TV shows and films that are recent and very hot on the market. So, we're going to go into our episode today where we reviewed The Bad Guys. Aaleia and Matthew, you guys attended a screening, right? And I didn't attend a very elusive, secretive screening, but, I still saw the movie, and it was really good. We're going to go into it. But beforehand, who wants to explain this box?
We do have a very special box. I'm really excited about it because I love merch. But we did hear back from Rotten Tomatoes after actually submitting all of our reviews and kind of the process for being like a podcast on their platform. So they've sent us a box.
Which is really amazing. Wow.
It's a heavy box. Like, it's pretty good up there. So, Aaleia, would you like to do the honors of stabbing it open?
For those who are listening on the podcast, Aaleia holds a quill. She is ready to stab the box.
Where should I stab it? Oh my goodness.
Anywhere you'd like.
I think I'm just going to peel this tape off.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's not that exciting.
Oh
my god. Aaleia just destroyed our set. No, I was kidding.
I'm sorry, producers.
It's okay. Here, I got you.
This is probably the safer way to do this.
We're probably facing some technical difficulties. Please don't dox us.
Sing and
Yes.
There we go.
It's clean.
Okay. What do y'all think is in there?
T-shirts.
Yeah.
T-shirts.
We thought mugs earlier.
Probably mugs, yeah.
Mugs.
It was heavy.
It's something heavy. There's
I want a
tote
bag.
tote bag. It's a bag.
I think tote bags, yeah.
Oh my god.
Absolutely not. I call.
Guys, we
something.
have more. Okay.
I want the tote bag.
Wow.
They feel
Oh, we got a lot of
Wow.
tote bags.
They look
A lot of tote
nice.
bags.
Like, it feels
lot of
like
tote bags.
burlap.
Oh, they're all
pretty
tote bags?
heavy.
Wait,
Thank God.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I like it.
Okay.
Oh, a lot of
Okay.
bags. Oh.
Another
A lot of
one.
bags.
Okay.
Another one.
I guess we don't have to
Wow.
fight for the bags, yeah.
Tote bags over.
Okay, now we
Oh.
have
Whoa.
so
Okay, we have a bunch of pens that say Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
love
Oh,
pens.
that's so cute. We don't have to
And,
fight over them, guys.
There are pins. Guys, there are pins. This one is like a Rotten Tomatoes flat. This is really cool.
Like, I've never
It's
seen a
very
pen
well,
before
but
in my life.
It's there. There's a lot of pens.
There's just one that's just
Oh, there's
fun.
more.
Another one. Here's the tomato pen.
Yeah, there's one that's just a
Ooh,
tomato.
I love it.
Oh,
I
that's fine.
That's fine.
With the little bag.
And we got books.
Oh.
It's actually really
We can
cute.
take notes in them.
Wow.
Fresh and rotten thoughts. That's actually
Wow.
so
That is
nice.
so
That's very
nice.
cute.
Thank you
Wow.
so much, Rotten Tomatoes. And more.
Where's
Wow.
Yeah.
These are going to be fun.
Yes.
Lastly, we have a little
Oh.
letter,
Oh,
like
oh,
a handwritten note.
Oh.
That's our names on it.
It
Oh.
has
Show it to the
Show
camera.
it to the
and
camera.
it has the names of our producers as well.
Wow.
Ryan, Mr. Sweeney.
Wow.
Oh my god!
See,
That's
Here,
so
I'm gonna
kind
do
of them.
And some very nice stickers.
It says
we love
all of our names.
There we go.
Okay.
Or do
Wait,
we-
should we open the letter? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Should,
Okay, wait,
we
I don't
should-
trust it. I'm gonna ruin it. Someone else open it. It's so nice.
Nameera.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
why is she doing surgery on a letter?
Just rip it.
Better than a banana.
This
Look
goes
at
in,
that.
like, the Classic
Look.
Hall of Fame or something.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on a little. Go a little speedy. There we go.
There you go.
This is.
Wow.
That was very satisfying.
So wow, now.
Someone want to take it out?
Momentous occasion, everyone.
Ooh, that's a pretty thing.
Okay.
Also like.
And it matches
Okay.
the sticker. This is like, okay.
Oh.
Hello to our friends at Operation Tomatometer. Thank you again for reaching out to us, and we hope you enjoy the swag. Keep up the fresh work, and please stay in touch. Best, Jenny, Sophie, and the team at Rotten Tomatoes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That is really, really cool.
I'm so honored that they actually took the time to
Yeah.
like write a handwritten note and send us all of this stuff and actually, use our names and make it personalized. And it just feels nice that like our work is being recognized.
Yeah.
Like even outside of the school, and it just feels like we're we're really doing something that, I mean, we know that what we're doing is important to us, but that it's making some sort of impact on other people as well.
Yeah.
And that was all thanks to you guys at home. Thanks you guys for watching and reviewing us so we could be able to do all of this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can't see it, but I have a big smile right now under the mask.
So, if you haven't been brainwashed by an electromagnetic meteorite, then you know about Dreamworks' newest film, The Bad Guys.
So The Bad Guys is set in a world in which humans and animals coexist, except that humans are pretty afraid of some of the animals, and some of these animals, a wolf who is the leader, a tarantula, a snake, a shark, and a piranha, who are just called by the names of the animal species, are part of a criminal group known as the Bad Guys. And their lives are pretty solid because everywhere they turn, people just run away. So they can just enter a bank, as we see in the first scene, and people will just run so they can steal as much money as they want. But then the mayor decides to go on air and say that she feels bad for them. So they decide to go ahead with what they consider to be the biggest heist that any criminals could ever pull off, which would be stealing the Good Samaritan Award.
Yeah,
the Golden Dolphin.
Good Samaritan Dolphin, which is being given to a nice Mr. Guinea Pig, who is supposedly the kindest, most humanitarian,
most annoying, good guy in the
most
planet
annoying.
called Professor Rupert Marmalade.
Professor Marmalade, very, very appropriately named character. And along this journey of trying to steal the dolphin and then subsequently getting caught and then being tricked time and time again by numerous different characters and many different plot twists that we will go into soon, they learn that sometimes it's better to be the good guys and not necessarily just being bad all the time, although there's many other themes that that's not touching upon at all. But that's our summary. That was unscripted, so...
Okay, so before we get into the episode, we'd like to introduce or reintroduce, as he's been on the podcast before, Matthew Merino, the classics accuracy editor and food critic. So thank you, Matthew, for being here. Round of applause.
Yeah, and thank you for inviting me again, and thank you for Jess for inviting me to the screening.
And we also got free t-shirts courtesy of Universal, which Matthew was wearing. Which was really nice of them to give to us as we walked into the theater.
Yeah, the merch looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you
I barely fit in this.
What?
I barely fit in this.
Looks great. Looks great.
He also brought in the actual
the actual books.
The actual Bad Guys books, which I failed to mention earlier, is that these are based on a children's book series by
Aaron Bradley.
Thank you.
Yeah, Aaron Bradley, and I think the book series started in 2015, and he's been publishing two per year. So at this point, he already published 15 of them.
Yeah.
Wow, he just
that's
cranking
insane.
them out.
And they got pretty popular with kids.
With the film, I think it really focuses on the animation style that's present in the film is really has influence from the original books.
Actually, I want to get into animation more, but a little bit later.
Yes.
Because first, we have to get into our very favorite segment, Rotten or Not, where we try to figure out what the people back at Rotten Tomatoes thought of the film, which is based on these very colorful books. So, as for the critics, what do we think, starting with Matthew?
Alright, so The Bad Guys, I think, it has a very family-friendly feel, but also I feel that even though the film is mostly pretty good, from a critical standpoint, I think there's some gaps in the score and in the special effects. So with the special effects, I think that even though it remains true to the style of those seen in the books, I think that it feels somehow out of place.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that the musical score didn't really emphasize. Yes, there was a good signature song thrown into it, but some of the music were kind of out of place as well. As for voice acting, I think it's kind of mixed performance. I like some of the performances, but especially some roles are kind of underwhelming. So for example, maybe it's due to the minor role that Awkwafina has. But it feels that Awkwafina does her normal voice.
You bring up a good point, because there's this trend to just have these A-list celebrities voice act, but really it should be given to actual voice actors. So I agree with you. When you get these name these big names like voicing these animated
Yes.
characters, it comes across kind of one-dimensional and bland. Like
I
you
thought she
said.
did a good job though.
Awkwafina.
I thought that it like they chose her for the role, which I mean they do pretty often for Awkwafina, but I thought she did a good job voicing the tarantula, and I almost wish that she had more of a major role and
Yes.
she wasn't just such a bland character. But anyway, so Matt, what do you think the critic score was? For the
So,
film?
given all those factors, I would give it a score of around 83.
83.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I was trying to. Okay, I think it would be considering like
Yes.
Matt said earlier, it is a kids film for families. It's a family friendly film. Considering all that and the intention, I don't think critics would be too harsh with it. So I would say though, like a 78. Considering all of that, I don't think it was an amazing animated film, like considering the story. But, it was funny and, it made me laugh and have a good time. So I would give it a 78.
78?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what critics are looking
78.
for.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, that
That's
makes my
interesting.
score feel a little high. But I agree with what you said, but I think I disagree a little bit about some of what I think Matt said about some of the humor, that it was very simplistic. But I think that it actually worked in the film, even though I didn't fully appreciate some of the
Yeah.
lowbrow humor. I think that it worked largely because they incorporated it into the plot a lot. So I can see why critics might give it a higher score than 78, just because of how well everything was incorporated, and a lot of the plot twists were really well done to the point where I wasn't expecting a lot of stuff to happen. A lot of times with kids' movies, you're like, oh yeah, obviously this character's going to turn out to be
Yeah.
the villain, and this one's going to turn out to be a spy in disguise. But in this one, it was like, whoa, I really didn't see that coming, mostly because we weren't thinking about it as it was happening. There was just so much happening in the film that there was no time to think,
Yeah.
wait a second, there's something off
Yeah.
here. So I'm going to say my score is going to be a little higher. Even though a lot of what I just said was negative, I think that it's very difficult to give a bad score, to critique harshly a film that is just so fun and it's just so
Yeah.
complicated. You can't really give it a low score because it's meant for kids.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's,
the problem.
It's
Yeah.
meant to be
Yeah.
silly, and it's meant to be out of this world and insane. There's an electromagnetic meteorite that just appears in the film and is used for an insane scene with guinea pigs running down streets with their eyes glowing blue. So it's crazy and it's fun, and I say that critics would have given it around a 90.
What?
Ooh.
Wait.
That's hot.
We switched
That's
roles
really
today? I'm
Wow.
usually...
Okay.
That's very interesting.
Well, damn. Okay. Personally, I'm gonna be basing off of a lot of what I've seen online on YouTube, and I did watch the first 6 minutes of the movie, and which was
Yeah.
on YouTube, which was really cool to
The
see.
Mr. Beast one?
I think so.
Promoted, yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Beast.
although that was coordinated.
But it seemed like a really interesting concept, considering that Zootopia had such an amazing,
Yeah.
amazing
Zootopia, yeah.
splash in the movie industry, where people really love seeing these animated characters having such almost human qualities, and they're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
jobs, and they're living in this world. It's kind of more interesting having humans
Well, yeah.
and animals side by side.
Yeah,
Is that what you
well, the addition of humans would have been inconsistent with the plot, with the story canon in the original books.
said? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because there's no humans in any of the 15 books that everybody's been published.
Wow.
A big
that was an
difference.
interesting choice.
That's
Yeah,
a-
there were no humans in the original books.
There wasn't much of a
Wow.
plot then.
No,
Yeah.
they and for example, the reporter is actually was only human for the film. The reporter was a cat.
Oh,
Interesting.
That's so interesting then, because then it
Yeah.
really makes me think that the creator of this movie wanted to really distinguish it from Zootopia then, where it's an entire world
Yeah.
society
Yeah.
that is just purely animals. I think that's
Yeah.
also an interesting plot point then as well, because it
yeah.
propelled a lot of the heists forward and whatnot. So considering all of that, also considering just the animation style, I really liked it. I really liked DreamWorks' animation style and their take on this one. It kind of does remind me a little bit of Shrek, just a little bit, because
little
it's
bit.
I don't know, something with the animation style is really jumping out at me. It's
very
not
crisp.
Disney. It's
Yeah.
very
I
crisp.
have to
Computer
say,
animated.
DreamWorks is also Puss in Boots, right? And we
Yeah,
got-
Puss in Boots.
I'd
Yeah.
say the newest Puss in Boots movie that's going to come out. I like that DreamWorks is trying different styles of animation, more graphic novel feely, or you know what I'm saying, not so I don't know. Not
It's
so-
divulging from like
It's
what we
definitely
already know.
Yeah.
We're definitely branching out in the animation style, and I really like that, and I applaud DreamWorks for that. It's very like nice to see visually.
Yeah, and it's like cool to see like blurs like and like us focusing on like one character in a single frame during like this film. And for all of those reasons and so much more, because it is an animal film, I'm prejudiced. I really liked animal films. Never was a princess person like that. But I'm gonna give this movie like an 85.
Okay.
Considering like how well it is being received, it even like grossed higher than the current Harry Potter movie that
Wait,
released
really?
this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It grossed much
Number
higher.
one this weekend.
didn't
So
know
I was
that.
just like really like taken aback because you know everyone loves a family film, but like this is doing really well.
Well, we have our lovely producer show us the Rotten Tomatoes critic score.
I think it's gonna be like 85 to 86, honestly. 86.
You're going back and forth.
That's
All
what
right,
I'm gonna
I think so, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Hey! You said it! Well,
Wow.
Okay.
86.
It is
86.
86, which is very close to Nameera's.
It is.
She was going back and forth the last second, so she had that.
I mean, I agree with this, like,
Yeah.
as the
Yeah.
score that I would give the film, just like an 86. I was feeling
Yeah.
that critics might give it higher. Now I'm thinking that my score might be a little closer to what the audience
Ooh.
gave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Audiences
So-
definitely would have rated it higher. They wouldn't be
Yes.
thinking
Yeah.
about it from such a critical standpoint, obviously, because they're the audience, they're not actually critics. But I don't think this is going to be a situation where the audience score is lower. Like,
No,
in
No,
terms
no
of-
way,
It wasn't
no
as
way.
controversial,
Yeah.
so I don't think that would
No.
be.
It
one
was
of
just
the
like a
concerns.
happy,
It was a happy film.
you know,
Yeah,
fun
PG,
film.
yeah.
There's nothing to hate about it.
So
So speaking
Yeah,
of
so basically, as we observed in like during the screening, me and Aaleia, I think like all the children like paid attention to the film. Like they weren't falling asleep or like as we know, they were energized by the end of the film. So I think that like the audience score is much higher at 94.
94,
Nice.
that's
Okay.
good.
So, similar to Matthew, I was in a theater and with two of my friends, and it was a theater full of kids and like parents and, you know, some other like adolescents like me. But I was cracking up at some points and I was like crying, and then I heard someone behind me cackling, and they were not a young kid. So that just goes to say that I think everyone of all ages was having fun watching it, which made it even more fun for me to watch. So I would say a 92. I definitely think in the 90s though.
Yeah.
We have 94, 92. I'm going to say 93. Right
Oh,
in between.
okay.
Guys. So we're all in like the same
Yeah.
Yes.
area here. One thing I think audiences would have appreciated that wasn't even like part of the actual plot line or anything was how audible the voices were. I could understand what all the characters are saying. But you might
Yes.
say
Oh,
it's
yeah.
obvious.
This is a problem in our
Yes.
theater nowadays.
Films
Yeah.
today, they have whispering and then like loud explosions, and it's like you can't hear anything that's
You know
going
what
on.
that is? That's Dune. That's Dune right
It
there.
was.
I had no
Exactly.
idea what
I
was
didn't
being
know what was
said.
happening.
you with the
Too.
Dune slander, me with the Eternal slander.
We're defeating them one by one, Nameera's.
But this film, like I actually noticed it as I was watching it. I was like, I can hear everything that's going on. Like I can follow the storyline, and that's
Yeah.
something that's important to everyone watching, especially to kids who can't really follow plot lines as quickly as adults can sometimes,
Yeah.
especially with something as fast moving as this. Okay,
Well, I'm gonna go down the line and continue it to 91. 91, 2, 3, 4.
I like that.
No, honestly though, I feel like it was well received, and I definitely think that it was higher than the critic score because of just everything that's been going on about the movie. I'm seeing memes, I'm seeing different
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
clips on YouTube.
I'm seeing
People love
edits.
it.
I'm seeing edits.
I'm just seeing like a lot of really fun stuff, and it's like a fun movie. I
Yeah.
think it's like interesting to have like 5 like main characters that we all follow, and we kind of see them in like this really interesting group setting. It's kind of very like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but like bad,
Yeah.
but also like funnier. Not that funny.
Will our lovely producer give us the audience score, please?
Gladly.
Okay, are we ready? Oh, 93!
Whoa!
Ooh.
And she's on the ball.
Wow.
Thank you, you two, for giving me your score.
Wow. So right on the money. I mean, we all agree with
Yeah,
that.
we
We're all
agree,
really
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
All of us were hugging each other with those scores. Yeah, just seeing the bad guys, you know, learn to be good and like see the goodness in them grow, and just seeing the wolf and how his like tail wags whenever he's
Yeah.
been told that he's
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
Yeah,
that
for
was
animals,
cute.
yeah.
Good boy.
So that was the whole thing was just really, really cute, and it was hilarious. I died whenever the piranha farted and nearly killed
Oh, God.
the
Oh.
tarantula. So, I mean, that's when someone behind me was cackling when she was dying.
Well, on that note, I think that's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you, Matthew, so much for being on this episode and for coming to the screening with me. And we're hoping that we're going to get more screenings soon from Universal. Thank you to Universal.
Yeah, thank you, Universal, for inviting us.
And for the shirts.
Yes.
Thank you, Rotten Tomatoes, for all the swag and for your lovely note. We really appreciate everything. And any final words?
Maybe I'll get to go to my first screening soon.
Yes.
Hopefully,
Don't forget to subscribe to the Classics YouTube channel and on our Instagram where we post bloopers and highlights and a whole lot of other stuff and other podcasts.
Yeah. Make sure to read us.
Yeah.
Rate us 5 stars on Apple
Yeah,
Podcasts.
Rate us 5 stars
Follow
on Apple
Spotify,
Podcasts.
listen wherever you get your podcasts from.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.